Good day, students. I'm so happy to meet you again. My name remains Edo, your tutor for Computer Literacy 2. Congratulations for passing your April examination, because for you to have qualified to write Computer Literacy 2, it means you already passed Computer Literacy 1. Congratulations. It shows that you worked very hard, and that is the output. I like to use computer terms there. That is the output of hard working. So when you work hard, you study well, what next? You'll always be happy. Here you are again for Computer Literacy 2. What is going to happen? Same thing that happened last time. And what is it that happened last time? I gave you a presentation. You studied very well. You passed Computer Literacy 1. Here, it's time for us to get prepared for Computer Literacy 2. Are you ready? Let's go. This presentation is for who now? It's for you. Who is you? Diploma in Junior Primary Education, DJPE-CL12. Diploma in Junior Primary Education, DJPE-CL12, and Diploma in Secondary Education, DES-CL21. Please, when you collect your question paper, make sure you have your subject code and your subject written there. Why am I saying that? Computer literacy is a general subject for all students at IOL. So different courses, different programs, different levels. That is why I've decided to include it in my presentation, who this presentation is for. So when you collect your question paper, make sure it's a question paper for you, so that you don't end up answering a question paper that is not meant for your program or for your course or for your level. That is good. Are you happy? I want you to smile to yourself and find that life is quite easy. Examination is not something difficult. Examination is just testing you what you know already. All right, beloved students, brothers and sisters, let's sit down and have a look at a presentation together. Oh, what is this now? I just want to remind you. I just want to say it crystal clear. Like the meta and fasting. And what is that? This presentation is not a scope. It's a guide. This presentation is not what? A scope. Is a guide. So don't base your study only on this scope. You know, students at times, they see this, the study guide as a scope. They see the study guide as the presentation as a scope. Oh, Mr. Edu, but your presentation scope does not say that we should study this. This is not a scope. It's a study guide. So that you don't say, yeah, Mr. Edu, why did you give us this question? Oh, don't say that. Study everything, my dear. Okay? And what is everything? From beginning of your course outline, from the beginning of your study guide, from Genesis of your study guide to Revelation of your study guide. What are you going to see in your examination question paper? 5 good questions. I call them good questions because they are so easy. So easy, like Itikapana, as I always say. And they're going to make up 100 marks. In the question, you're going to see 15 multiple choice. 15 multiple choice. In your multiple choice, please look very well before you pick an option. Don't rush. If you rush, you crush, as my mom used to say. Look at your options very well and make sure you pick the right option. Should in case you change your mind, please cancel that option. If you submit 2 options, it makes your work invalid. They will wrong it. Even the answer is there. As usual, I want you to pay attention to your examination words, states, explain, differentiate, outline, define, discuss, analyze, justify. Pay attention to them. They are in your study guide. I think towards the beginning or the end of your study guide, they are stated there. Don't ignore them. As I always say, a student can know something, but might not write it in a way the examiner wants it. Pay attention to them. What do they mean? And how to use them in an examination. As I said, this examination covers your entire module. But pay very good special attention to the following concepts. In computer literacy too, these words are always often used. When it comes to internet and email, the meaning of these words, web browsing, a browser rather. What is a web browser? What is phishing? I'm not talking about phishing, phishing as in P. Cookies, website, web page, home page, internet service provider. Words like this, terminologies like this, can you explain them? Can you discuss them? Can you give an example of them? Read them, study them. Now, when it comes to email, what is email? Electronic mail. It's used for what? You know, in the April examination, there was a question like that says, what is an email? You see, some students give you some kind of answers. An email is the fastest way to send messages on the internet. No, that's not a due definition. There are so many ways we send messages on the internet. I can send a message to you on Facebook. That is on the internet. I can send a message to you on WhatsApp. That is on the internet. So you don't really know which one is the fastest. So by telling me email is the fastest, that is not the definition. That is not the definition. So don't give definition that does, don't give definition that does not really define the concept. I've seen also definition that says, email is the way I can send message to you on the internet. No, there are so many other ways you can send messages to me on the internet, not only email. So when you define something like email, you should be able to say, number one, email means electronic mail. It's a means of sending and receiving messages electronically. You see it now. It's a means of sending and receiving messages electronically. Probably if you want to add, you can say on the internet. Good. Now, when you talk about email, what are the advantages of email? Does it have some advantages? Fine. It is fast. When you use email to send messages, compare to the old method of going to the post office. Fine. An email can be used to send videos, music. An email can go with an attachment. You can attach document with an email. Those are advantages. Can you read more about advantages of email? Apart from that, what about the internet? What are the advantages and disadvantages of the use of internet? If a question says, discuss advantages and disadvantages of the internet, separate them, don't mix them together. If I were you, I would say advantages as a kind of a heading, underline it, then list them one by one. So it is always very good when you list your points very well. The lecturer will be very convinced that, yeah, the student knows what he's doing. Then you writing them together as a story. Don't mix up your point. I see that regularly when I mark. So when you mix up your point, it becomes like an essay, a comprehension. Then I have to start reading line by line as if I'm reading a newspaper, try to bring out the point myself. No, it is your duty to bring out the point. It is my duty to see if your points are correct. So don't make me to start looking for the point then make me to see if the points are correct. What I'm trying to say is that when you bring out points in talking, for example, advantages of the internet, you say 1, tell me something. You see, 2, tell me about it. Another advantage. 3, another advantage. Then I can easily look, oh, the first advantage correct, good. Second advantage correct, oh, not correct, wrong or correct, good. But now, if you write for me advantages, disadvantage in stories, everything mixed together, everything mixed like a comprehension. Now, what type of work are you giving me? You are trying to make me read, then look for them myself, one by one? No. Number 1, you waste my time. Number 2, you tell me, or you are telling me you are not very sure. You are not all that convinced. That is why you are dumping all of them there. So don't write them as a comprehension. Don't write your point as an essay. No. List the points and explain them. List the point and explain them. Now, still on the advantages and disadvantages of the internet, don't repeat points. I said it in the other presentation also. Don't repeat points. What do we mean by repetition of points? You say advantages of the internet. With the internet, I can send money. With the internet, I can receive money. More or less, you are telling me the same thing, the usefulness of internet in banking sector. More or less the same point you are telling me. So don't repeat points by using synonyms, by playing around with words. Give me good point, different point with examples. Now, computer virus is another common question also we always give. Why am I saying common question, common question? Ladies and gentlemen, your course outline remains the same. It has not changed. So meaning every year, every examination, we take question from the same course outline. The only thing we do is to reframe the question in different ways. But we are examining you based on the same expected learning outcome. So for example, in April examination, I can ask you, what are the dangers of, what are the effects of computer virus? In August examination, I can ask you, how can you protect your computer from computer virus? So read everything about it. The question can be changed. The question can be asked in different ways. Now, in computer virus, you should be able to discuss what a computer virus is. What effect does a computer virus has? How can we prevent our computers from being infected with computer viruses? All these things mentioned here now, they are there in your study guide. In case you find it difficult also to understand your study guide, go to our YouTube channel. IOL has a YouTube channel where we have over 800 videos already recorded by tutors, and these are content-based. What I mean by content is that what I'm doing today is an examination guide. I'm guiding you today. I'm not tutoring you today. But those videos that we have, they are content-based. What it means is that each of these topics are clearly explained in those videos. Just go to IOL YouTube channel, then open the playlist. You will see all the videos. Put in the subject code. It will display. And do you know the good news about it? These are already recorded videos. You can play them over and over and over again until you understand. That is the beauty of studying at IOL, distance education, but you have recorded videos that you can access anytime, anywhere, time of the day. Make use of them. Don't wait until the examination looking for a scope. Aye, we don't give scope. Okay, I'm just being firm here, because these are the things that make students to fail. All right. In your study guide, in your course outline, there is this area that talks about how to send emails and receive emails. And when you send emails and receive emails, there are these concepts that you must know. Like when we say inbox, what do you have in inbox? Reply, reply all. What is the difference? Then we have this concept also, the difference between CC and BCC. You know, I was so surprised in an examination, I think it was 2016, last year, where students say BCC means British Broadcasting Corporation. Who? This is not journalism. This is an IT class. This is not journalism. We're not journalists here. We are IT people. So BCC is not British Broadcasting Corporation. So can you go back today, after this presentation, can you find the difference between CC and BCC? In short, I will give you a brief explanation. CC, carbon copy. BCC, blind carbon copy. But what difference exists between them? Will you look for them? Say yes. I did not hear that again. Say yes. I will look for them. Don't say I did not tell you. Jesus Christ said, a word is enough for the wise. Will you be wise? Yes. By looking for it. Desktop publishing. In your assignment 2017 and assignment, I gave you very beautiful assignment. Can you remember question 3 in your assignment? Some of you cannot even remember because you didn't do it. Sorry, I'm not accusing you, but I'm being realistic here. All right? Question 3 in your assignment. There, I ask you to design a certificate. Can you remember now, right? Yeah, I ask you to design a certificate of an award, a certificate that can be awarded to the best mathematics learner. If you actually design that certificate yourself, you know how to design it, then I guarantee you will pass questions on desktop publishing. Desktop publishing is used for what? To design. Can you design? What are the features of desktop publishing? What can we do with desktop publishing? I will ask you some crucial questions on desktop publishing. Amen? Amen. Then, when you design in desktop publishing, remember in that question, in the assignment, I ask you to insert the school logo in that presentation. I ask you to insert a border, a page border in that presentation, referring to your assignment now. Now, the question is this. If I ask you, let's assume I ask you in an examination, that how can you insert pictures? How can you insert images when designing? Will you be able to write it? In case you have forgotten, go back and revise it. How to insert pictures, images when you are designing, when using Microsoft Publisher. One other aspect of your study guide in computer literacy 2 has to do with library science. And there is this area that talk about how to write references in education. I'm very sure you have been taught in Education Foundation and some other education courses that whenever you make use of a material in your assignment, you should tell or you should reference where you got those materials from. How do you write references in education? Using the upper formats. If you get a material or information from a book, how do you write that reference in the upper format? What if that material is retrieved from the internet? How do you write the reference? What if you get it from a magazine? How do you write the reference? How do you refer to the source material? There is a stated guideline in your study guide on how to write references. In case you could not get it right clearly, you don't understand the way perhaps it's stated after reading your study guide, visit my YouTube page. If you go onto the internet, just type IOL CL12. You will see the presentation. If you get there I explain in detail how to write references, and I used some examples. So practice how to write a reference. For example, if I give you a book with all the information such as the author, the name of the author, the company that published the book, the year it was published, the year perhaps it was reviewed, will you be able to write a reference for me on that book? I want you to practice it. It's only when you practice that you can really know. That's why I always say it is easy to pass your examination, provided you start on time, provided you make time to study. You can pass. Nothing is difficult. Nothing is difficult. Only if you want it to be easy for you. Are you happy? Be happy. Just give yourself a smile. You know, when you smile at times, it eases the tension. So can you smile a little bit? You can smile to your friend, but don't smile too much to your friend, especially if it's a lady and you're a man. If you smile too much to that lady and the husband see you, you're in trouble. So just a little smile, don't overdo it, just to calm your tension. Okay, just tell your friend, I love you. Just love as in love, not the other type. Okay, all right. Now the tension is calm. Relax. Good. What else do you or should you expect in your examination? This I will give you in the examination. I'm saying it here. How to write a short story based on a picture. I gave it to you in your assignment. Can you remember? Some are saying yes. I gave it to you in the assignment. I want to really lay an emphasis on this. How to write a short story based on a picture. Why? You say, Mr. Head, what is your problem now? What has stories writing has to do with computer literacy? I told you at the genesis of this presentation that your course outline is divided into two: 80% computer literacy, 20% basic information science, and that has to do with library. And what do you do at the library? You deal with books. So as a primary school teacher, you're going to be using books with your students, with your learners, short story books. Not necessarily you are going to be the writer, but it's good for you to know how to write short stories based on picture. It's a requirement in your course outline. I gave it to you in your assignment, but unfortunately, over 70% failed question 12. How to write story based on a picture. I want to tell you this. Do not describe the picture. Do not describe the picture, but develop a short story based on the picture. You can see the font size I used for this slide is bigger than other slides in the presentation. Why? I'm trying to emphasize it. The font size I used here is bigger than every other font. Why? I'm trying to emphasize it. Do not describe the picture, but what? Develop a short story based on the picture. And what does that mean? Here is a picture. I give you a picture. Like in the case of an assignment, the assignment. In that picture of the assignment, there is a boy sitting down on the bed. There is another boy reading. There is a table. They are in the room. Can you try and write any short story based on what you see? This is not asking you to describe the picture for me like what most of you did. It's in the assignment. In the assignment, most of you were describing the picture. The boy is sleeping. The boy is holding a book. The room is neat. It's like they just came back from school. I didn't ask you to describe the picture. Develop, I'm repeating it because I'm going to ask you a similar thing. Develop a short story. And how do you develop a short story? Look at the picture. What do you think is happening at the picture? Then start your story based on the picture. This is non-fiction. It's not going to be, it's not a real situation. It's an imaginary situation. Start. And your introduction can be a quote. Your introduction can be an exclamation. Your introduction can be a proverb. Your introduction can be anything that can arouse interest. So when I read your first paragraph, your introduction, it should arouse my interest in the story. Do you remember those folktale stories that our parents used to tell us? Once upon a time, there was a boy whose name is... Those are the stories I'm talking about. You understand it now? Once upon a time, there was a boy. His name is Tom. He has a friend called Jerry. Both of them attend the same school. Now, coming back from school, Tom loves to read. Tom takes his book and starts to read. He reads short stories every day. While his friend Jerry is a lazy boy who likes watching cartoon. You see now, you are already developing, writing a story now based on the picture. Just like the way we gossip at times, yeah? You know, at times we gossip on Facebook. You see a picture on Facebook, you don't really know what happened, but you're already forming a story based on the Facebook. It's like, were you there? No, but you're already forming a story based on it. Now, when you write your story, make sure that your story has a title. Give your story a title. Tom, the lazy boy. Jerry, the story boy. Give your story a title. Start with good introduction. At least use 2 to 3 paragraphs to describe the picture. To write a story based on the picture, so that each paragraph can or should convey an idea, a point. Have a good conclusion. Have a good conclusion. When you are done writing this story, read through your story and ask yourself if this story has any relationship with the picture that is given to you in your paper. Correct your spellings and your grammatical errors. Because in writing a story, if a word is wrongly used, it changes the meaning of that story. If a spelling is wrong, if a word is wrongly written, spelling errors can change the entire meaning of the story. That is why it is necessary for you to read through the story again before you submit your examination scripts. Ladies and gentlemen, use proper punctuation. All this Mr. Edo is talking about, you must have been taught in your English classes. So I'm not here to teach you English. I'm not an English tutor. So I've laid enough of emphasis on that, and I believe you will do accordingly when it comes to the examination. I repeat for the last time, do not describe the picture. Write a story based on the picture. I will use the remaining few minutes left to discuss Microsoft Excel with you. But before then, I have a presentation in our YouTube channel, IOL YouTube channel, on how to use and work on Microsoft Excel rather. Can you please visit that YouTube channel of IOL and play my videos on how to work and use Microsoft Excel? Now, when it comes to Microsoft Excel, the very question that I always ask is, how many columns, how many rows? Those are free marks. But those free marks are always not free marks to all of you. An Excel table is always like this. It has columns just the way you see. And the columns carries alphabet. The columns carry alphabet. So this is column A, column B, column C, column D, column E, column F. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The question, how many columns are here? 6. Simple. Then, an Excel spreadsheet has rows. Just as you can see me drawing the rows. Here are the rows in an Excel spreadsheet. The rows, they have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. How many rows are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. Again, how many rows are here? 6. Again, how many rows are here? 6. So I ask you, just write it for me. Then in Excel, we always talk about two things. There are two types of data we talk about in Excel. We talk about values and labels. In Excel, we talk about values and labels. Those are the two things we always talk about in Excel. And what are values? Values are numbers. Values are what? Numbers. Values are numbers. If you look at my screen, you will get them right. Values are numbers. What are labels? Labels are alphabets. Labels are alphabets. Now look at the screen. Can you see it now? Look at column B. Column B. There is a cell there called cell B2. How do we know this is cell B2? This is cell B2 because that cell is in column B and row 2. B2, not 2B, B2. As I said, there are two types of data, labels and values. So, if I ask you a question like this, let's go back to our table here. I have 10, 3, 4. Here I have Edu. Here I have Joy. Here I have IOL. Then I ask you a question. Write down, tell me a cell that contains a value. Tell me a cell that contains a value. You can write for me something like A1. You can write something like B1. You can write something like C1 because they have values, that is numbers in them. Don't give me a range when I ask you for a cell. If I say write a cell that contains value, don't write for me A1 to C1. No, you are not sure. Be specific. I ask for a cell, then give me a cell. If I say give me a cell that contains a label, you can give me something like A2. You can give me something like A2, a label. You can give me something like A3. You can give me something like A4. They are labels because they contain alphabet. And when you write your cell, the alphabet comes before the number. A1, not 1A. I'm talking from common mistakes you make when it comes to examination. So read through, walk through your Excel, see how to use an Excel formula. The use of Excel formula is very necessary in our examination, please. See how to use things like sum, average, minimum, and maximum. I cannot teach you effectively in this presentation how to use Excel. But as I told you, I have done a presentation on how to use Excel. Please go to the YouTube page, go to IOL YouTube channel. On the playlist, enter CL12. Then you will see how to use Microsoft Excel. There I have demonstrated practically how you can work on Microsoft Excel. Are you sleeping? If there's somebody sleeping beside you, can you tell the person, wake up? Wake up. So that you can pay attention to me. I have here a summary on how to work on Excel in this presentation. Please go through this summary. Don't read my summaries, please. Study my summaries. Don't read my summaries. Study my summaries. Study them. Work on them. I can guarantee you one thing. And what is that? You will not even score 50. You will score 70, 80, 90. You will pass. Don't forget about Microsoft PowerPoint also. Don't forget about Microsoft Publisher. Don't forget about how to write short stories. Don't forget about the common ways, terminologies we use in computing environment. Jesus Christ said, if you listen to my words, then the kingdom of heaven is there for you. Mr. Edu said, if you listen to my presentation, then your 70s, your 80s, your 90s, your 100s, they are waiting for you. I wish you all the best in your August examination. But should in case you have more problems, contact me, call me, SMS me, then we can interact. We can help you to pass your examination. I remain Edo Triumph 081 480 4091. Thank you, and I wish you all the best in your August examination.